Hi everyone, good evening. I hope everyone is doing great. Thank you for joining the webinar today. So today we are here to discuss about the AMI, and I'll be taking the introduction. My name is Vagdevi and I'm working as a senior ML engineer with CloudX Lab and Turno. So we have a couple of interesting AI projects, and Turno is one of our most esteemed projects, which is our AI data scientist. And today we are focused on discussing how to use Turno on AMI. So let us start the webinar. I hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so let us see how to set up our own AI data scientist on the private cloud. So this is the agenda for today's webinar. We will be first looking at what is Turno AI and how it works, and also what exactly is Turno AMI. And we will also see the demo for setting up the Turno AI AMI, and also a case study of Turno AI. So we are the speakers for today. We have Sandeep Akode, who is the CTO, myself Vagdevi, Senior ML Engineer, Akansha Patel, STE, and we also have Sachin with us today, who's a product manager, and we also have Tejveer with us. So what is Turno AI? So Turno AI, as we discussed, is our AI data scientist, and it learns and understands about our data sources automatically just by interaction. So whenever we connect our data sources or whatever the data files that we have with Turno, Turno will automatically grab the schema of it and understand pretty much all the details about it, and also interact with us and understand how about the personalization and also giving the answers in the natural language. So it is basically used to instantly analyze enterprise data and get actionable insights by asking questions in plain English, empowering both technical and non-technical teams. So be it if the user is a technical person or a domain expert or any non-technical team, Turno is right here for you just to answer your questions for data. So any user, they can ask the questions in plain English query to Turno, and Turno can answer in the desired format. So Turno is configured to securely connect to any data sources, be it MCPs, ERPs, databases, data warehouses, data lakes, and be it like Postgres, MySQL, BigQuery, Snowflake, ERP systems, or whatever it is. And even we can also upload the files of any format like CSV or JSON. It is all there for us. Turno AI can analyze any kind of data. So enterprise grade security has always been our main aim, and we have never compromised on that. And we are able to achieve that with the help of SQL Shield. It only has read only access, schema only analysis, and encrypted connections with the virtual environment execution and isolated SOC2 compliant infrastructure so that the data never leaves our premises. So we can really trust that the data doesn't go anywhere. It is always on our premise, be it any kind of platform of Turno. It is always guarded and shielded with SQL Shield. So we can perform full analytics, be it predictive analytics, exploratory data analysis, advanced machine learning models, and real-time process, along with the automated report generation with Turno AI. So Turno AI is not just for understanding data, but also do a full end-to-end workflow and analytics performance, along with the final automated report generation. So all your data needs are there with Turno. So now let us have a brief look about how Turno works. So we have a user on the left side who can upload the data files or also connect any data sources along with the user's question to Turno. And then Turno interacts with data or systems using the code and SQL that it generates in-house with the help of the LLM, which is the brain of the app. And This will be used in order to communicate with the data sources in the backend, and that also has a wrapper of knowledge and security layer, which is very much essential to grab the knowledge from the data as well as the previous interactions of the user, and also guard the entire data and the knowledge using the security layer. So after all this processing, we get the results from the data sources to Turno based on the executed SQL commands, and Turno in return processes all these results from the database in order to answer to the user in the specified format or the desired format that the user wants based on his questions and interactions in a personalized way. So it is like a full end-to-end workflow whose answers are particularly grounded in the data sources rather than just hallucinations. And it is fully, completely secured with the help of the security layer along with the knowledge layer. Now let us look at Turno AI AMI, and my teammate Akansha will be continuing from here.
Hi everyone, I'm Akansha and I'm working as a software engineer at Turno. Uh, I'll share my screen. I hope it's visible.
Yes, Akansha.
Yeah. So, uh, what is Turno AMI? Let me first tell you about what is Amazon Machine Images. You can think of it like a ready to use software package on your AWS cloud, which you can use to launch instances and use them. So, on AMI basically runs on your private cloud, and data in AMI case does not leave your VPC. So, using this concept, we have bring Turno AI AMI, which is basically Turno AI only, to whom you can ask the questions in plain English and get instant insights. But the case here is that the Turno AMI provides a safe private network where you can uh, make analysis from your databases, and the data won't leak your private network. It will be safe and secure. And for this, you do not have to do any complex installations as everything is pre-installed in it. So now the question, why enterprises would like to use Turno AI AMI when we have cloud AI tools in a present which can do the analysis. So, in today's time, enterprises have their own constraints and concerns about their data privacy. Uh, so basically, they have to keep their data private inside their own network boundaries, and they cannot afford to lose their data being exposed to any third party application. So, in cloud tools, which basically sit outside the private network of any enterprise, they requires to expose the databases of the enterprise, or may need to create tunnels for analyzing or generating insights from their database. So that basically violates the security policies of an enterprise, which is rigid about its database policies. The some of the strict security policies are like that their internal databases won't be accessible to any external applications, and their data should never leave their network boundaries. So they cannot use the SaaS versions of the AI analytic tools available in the internet, because they basically require the databases to be exposed to a third party. So here, this is the reason why uh, we have made Turno AMI. Turno AMI basically uh, brings the AI data scientist to where your data lives, inside your private cloud. So that your data would never leave your VPC, and you can do your analysis and get the insights from your data on your private network, keeping the database safe. It Turno AMI do not need any firewall opening changes to any external services, so it's fully compliant with the security policies and works seamlessly on your AWS environment. So now I'll give you a live demo on how you can set up your Turno AMI on AWS. We have our blog as well, which consists the steps on it, and I'll share the link of the blog in the chat. And yeah, you can easily find it on Google or any browser. Here it is, Turno AI. So, when you will open this, you will get to see these information about Turno AI, its features, pricing, and usage instructions as well in it for the setup. So, let's go to view purchase options. You will have to subscribe to it, as I have already subscribed to it. So I'll directly launch it from here, launch your software. But when you will come to this page, you will first have to subscribe to the product. Uh, the AMI is free of cost, so you can directly subscribe it. So launch your software. We have to choose launch from EC2 console. Again, this. Give it a name. You can choose any instance type which you prefer. I'm using T2 medium. And the key pair name, this is basically generated. The private key is in the launch instance, and the public key you will keep it in your local, so that you can access the instance from your local terminal as well. So as I am already having a key, so I'll use it. You can create it a new one as well if you want. Then the security group. So you have to allow the SSH, HTTPS, and HTTP according to your uses. And you can create a group. As I have one already, I'll use that. But you will have to make sure that the port 80 is open. And yes, you can configure the storage as well according to your needs. And we'll just launch the instance. It takes a few seconds to initialize and start the server. So let's see if it's Done. This is the public IP, and I would recommend you put Ubuntu here, the username, then connect. So yeah, it's not initialized yet. Until it's getting started, I'll walk you through the vlog. Like this is the vlog. We have mentioned why it is created, the same reasons that the enterprises need to keep their databases safe and inside their private network only. And then I have mentioned the steps which I'm following. Just go to AWS Marketplace and subscribe to the product Turno AI. Then they launch the instance step. And yeah, for the security group, as I mentioned, you have to make sure the port 80 is open after you launch it. You can open it on the browser. Let's check if it's done. Yeah, it's up. So I'll connect again. I'll take the username as Ubuntu. So yeah, the server is up, and on the new tab, you just paste the public IP. Oh, just a second. You can see the logs from the server.
So there is one question, Akansha.
Hmm.
So that data does remain in the VPC. It does not go out of it, meaning our database has to be inside the same VPC. Am I right?
Yes.
Uh, yeah, it can be inside the VPC, but if you are able to open the ports to your database and create a secure tunnel, then you can connect any kind of database that is hosted anywhere. Okay, so you can host your database anywhere and open a secure tunnel to that, and you can connect it to turn.
So when you will open the IP on the browser, you will be asked for this login. So we already have given these credentials in the blog as well and in the README file as well. So it is admin.example.com and the password also. To change this password, you can uh, run this command. The default credentials are these for you to locally sign up to the instance, and to change the default password. Um, okay, it's not visible here. So okay, it's basically this. I'll drop that command in the chat after I'm complete with this. So this login, you will come to this chat interface of Turno AI, and when you will send first like something message, you will be asked to get your key, basically the Turno LLM key. So go to this link to get your key, and if you are not a user of Turno AI, then you will have to sign up or log in. It will show you your key, copy it, and come back here. So you have to paste it here. So this button, add LLM configuration, paste your Turno API key here and save. Now you are ready to use it. So yeah, if you will ask a query on your database, it also shows the steps, how it's going, the generated code, and what code it's running behind, which is giving you result. You can see it in the show thinking, and it also gives you the recommendations of the queries you can ask on your database. uh, those are specifically for the kind of database you have added. And yeah, other instructions are here. For as we will be releasing the versions when there are any updates, so whenever you will launch an instance, I would suggest you can check for the latest available updates by running this command, that is sudo turno upgrade dash dash check. It will show you if there is an available update, and to upgrade your available version, run this command sudo turno hyphen upgrade. So it will upgrade the version of your instance. So yeah, these were the steps on how to set up your uh, Turno AMI.
Okay, so there are a few questions. So Gitika is asking, so can we connect? You did not show how to connect to a database. I think Akansha will show that. And one more question is, what about Turno LLM evals? How to measure, track, improve? So right now, the evaluation is not part of the software. So you can uh, track the previous chat history, and based on that, you can improve the part. But Turno AI is self-learning. So based on your chat, it will be able to answer better your questions in a better way if you had multiple information to it. Like there are various ways you can provide information about your database to the Turno AI. It can be via organization info, or you can tell it about the tables and columns that you have in your database, and using that it will improve the performance. Yeah. So Akansha, can you show how to connect a database in Turno?
Yes. So here in the chat, you can see the option for add data source. Here you will see these. You can like connect these kinds of data sources to Turno. Let's say I'll go with this MySQL connector. So you have to give the display name, and these are the like main credentials for your database. So user of your database, like for example the MySQL user, it can be root or something else. The password of that user, this is the host. If like host for where your database is, if it's on some other network, so the host for that and its port and the name of the database. You have to configure these details and you're good to go to add the data source by doing add connections.
Yeah. Apart from this, because it is hosted on AWS and your database may be hosted anywhere, it can be in RDS or it can be in some other VPC itself, or it can be in some other cloud. So all you need to do is you need to allow this particular IP for this particular AWS server that we have launched here. You need to allow connections from that server to your database. Yeah, we can take any questions. Do we have any questions? Or we will show the use case, yeah, if we have.
Yeah, we can continue with the demo case study.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Hope my screen is visible. So one of the demo use cases is the portfolio concentration risks in lending data. This is a particular fintech problem, and in the current world, there is a lot of data coming in financial institutions, and there are a lot of business questions. And in the traditional way, it is that once the business question is there, the data team has a lot of delays, and they need to come up with the plans and proposals and approvals and all those things. And then they have to go to the next step, which is the data cleaning, and further they have to model the ML model for prediction and all, and go for the report generation. And by the time they come to the end decision for the business question framed initially, it is a lot of delay. So we can understand that in financial world, speed is money, and if there is a delay, it will be a loss of revenue and opportunity risk as well. So in this particular use case that we are going to see, uh, this particular use case is done by one of the domain experts, and he belongs to the financial institutions, and he is very much interested into these things. So he himself has done this use case where he has experimented with geographic exposure, which is divided with the low concentration risk, and he also tried with product and industry concentration to understand the hidden risks. So the goal is to assess the concentration risks across geography, industry, and products. And the aim is to refine classifications, build models, and monitor the ongoing risks. So this is how the entire chat looks. So the domain expert has come up with this prompt saying that he wants to do the credit risk analysis ML model. And for now, he first attached the file, and he defined the columns that he wants to analyze particularly. And he also is very clear to uh, convert some of the columns into numericals like zeros and ones instead of the verbal things. And missing values are handled by removing them. So Turno has come up with its own thought process with the entire chain of thought. So the agent is able to reason every step. As we can see, it has thoughts, which shows it will begin by listing all the files, and then it has come up with the code in order to read the file, and also it has executed this code to get the observation as shown here. And then once it has the file, It is trying to filter the particular file which is having the loan related files, and it is trying to go step by step in the execution. So if we understand, the agent is properly reasoning every step, and it is generating the code, and the generated code is getting executed. And if you see here, there is an exception for the code that the LLM has generated, and in the next step it is able to generate a corrected version of the code in order to correctly execute the file. And we can see that here it is able to correctly come up with the code. And then it is able to see all the files and the columns with along with the cleaned data set, and it is scanning the CSV files, ensuring it is located in the data set, and it is sorting the files in the sandbox, and it is finally coming up with the data set complete cleaning data. So finally, it has loaded the streaming chunks, and it is able to produce the cleaned credit data set, and we can also download it by clicking on it. Once the data is clean, the domain expert has gone to the second step, where he is able to where he is interested in the geographic concentration analysis. So the data set has various columns like address of the data set and all the other things. So he particularly prompted to group the data set based on the state of the address, and for each state he calculates total loan amount, number of loans, average loan size, default rate, and portfolio percentage. And again, Turno is able to come up with the correct approach step by step, and it is also able to execute the code it has generated. And finally, it is able to give the final answer in the file for us to save it for later. And when he asked to visualize the result, it is able to create a beautiful chart where it shows that California has the highest total loan amount, followed by Texas, and then New York, and then so on. And upon hovering the chart, we can also see the further details about the state name, the total loan, the number of loans, average loan size, default rate, and portfolio. So we have all the needs done by Turno here. And then going to the next step, after the geographic concentration analysis, he has come up with, he wants to understand the HHI. The HHI is the metric which is used to understand how concentration or how competitive this particular domain is. So this is particularly understood by the financial domain expert, and Turno is even able to do the same. It is able to act as a domain expert based on the guidance of the person using it, and it is also correctly able to calculate everything, and it is also able to give the correct classification based on the HHI index. So it says that the HHI score is 527 with a low concentration, saying that it is a low concentration profile. And then we are also able to generate uh, the visualization based on the prompt given. And then the next analysis that he's interested is the industry concentration. So he wants to extract the industry from the employee title and repeat the same grouping just like in the previous step, but in the industry instead of the state. And the agent is able to correctly come up with the approach where it says that the other group is having the total loan amount followed by the technology industry, and then healthcare, and then finance, and then so on. And then the next analysis is to understand the product concentration, where he wants to group by purpose, that is debt consolidation, credit card, and home improvement. And similarly, it is able to do the similar thinking and acting pattern, where it says that the debt consolidation has the highest total amount, followed by the credit card, home improvement, and others. And finally, the step six is to identify the top six concentrations, and particularly to flag any single state that exceeds 15% portfolio, 20% portfolio industry, and a product type that has exceeded 30% of the total portfolio. And it is similarly able to come up with the correct thought approach, and it is able to act by executing the same code, and it is able to give us the final answer in a very neat way. So it is also able to save the final answers in the CSV files, And finally, the entire analysis has been mapped on the actual US map based on the concentration. So it is a very good analysis because we are able to understand visually on the entire US map. And this is a common practice even in the data science workflows to be able to visualize in any common patterns or any reasonable patterns to depict our entire analysis even on the geographical maps. And Turno is able to do even this step. And we also wanted to ask the tree map showing the industry concentration with the default text, default race. So this is just coinciding with the same flow which we have seen here, where we wanted to understand the industry concentration. And here as well, we can see the other part has occupied the major portion, followed by technology and healthcare. And this is another version of depicting the same thing. So other occupies the major proportion, followed by technology and healthcare. And then we ask to create a bar chart showing top 10 states with their exposure amounts. And we can see California and Texas are amongst the top two. And finally, we are able to see a detailed report for our entire findings and also to ask the next steps. And it is able to come up with the final report for the entire conversation that we had with detailing every part and also its results in a very good way as a summary report in the final. And also, it is able to give us a clean cheat sheet of the key insights from the entire workflow we have done till now. And it is also able to give us the suggested next steps, as in how to refine the industry mapping or subgrade the rate analysis, or if we need to do feature engineering and model and concentrate on the portfolio stress testing and so on. So this is the entire visualization that has been done. And coming back to it, thank you so much. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask us.
Yeah. So there is one question, which is the underlying LLM model that is being used. So right now we are using GPT's model, ChatGPT's model, GPT 4.1. And another thing is this product a local software that does not connect to Turno server? So we just saw that how we can use Turno to do complex analytics on your database, on any kind of data. You can upload your CSVs or you can connect your database and it will be able to do complex analytics. You can ask any question to it. Okay. So to use Turno, we offer it in a multiple ways. One is this web version that you can just go to turno.ai. I will just paste the link. Okay. It's a problem. Yeah, this link, you can use the web version directly without installing anything on your local computer or even in your cloud. You can use it directly here. Another way is the AMI version that we just saw. And in that case, you can install it in your VPC. And the third way is a desktop app. So you can download it on your desktop and install it on the Mac version. Right now, we only have the Mac version. Yeah, thanks, Raghavi, for the link. So using this desktop app, you don't need to have a AWS account or you don't need to sign up on the web version. Okay. Like you need to sign up for only for to get the API key. So this desktop app will run locally on your computer. Right now we only have the Mac version and Windows version will be released soon. Okay, so these are the multiple ways to use Turbo AI. Okay, so the question by Suresh is, the context sent to the GPT would have our data elements, right? Yeah, but the only data that we send to the LLM will be metadata. It will only contain the metadata about your database, not the raw files. Sorry, the raw data. Okay, so it will only contain the metadata like the table names, column names, and you can also customize the names that are sent. You can obfuscate the names so that the actual table name and column names are not sent, but the some other alias will be sent. Okay, so there are multiple security layers that are there in the Turno. You can explore all that by either by signing up. Okay. So are there any more questions? Okay, so if there are no more questions, we can stop here. Are you using self-hosted GPT model? No, right now we are not hosting the GPT model. We are just using the API that is provided by OpenAI. So the question is, how do you know you have adequate data for the analysis? So the data will be provided by you actually. Okay, so either you will connect the database or you will provide it some CSV or some data files. Okay, you can add them as an attachment. So Turno's job will be to analyze the database deeply, go through every tables and columns and what kind of data is there in your database or in your files that you attach, and it will be used for the analysis. Those files will be used. Okay.
I think
Ram
that's a
was
question from Suresh Nair. He asks how AMI is different from the on-premises server or data center. So AMI is configured on your uh, VPC, virtual private cloud, whereas on-premises is something that your own company will be setting up, including the infrastructure and all.
Yeah. So one another question is this free version? Yeah. So if you either use it on the web or the AMI or the desktop app, in all the cases, you will get $10 credits on sign up. And we think that will be enough for trying it out. And the the actual charge for Turno is only nominal. Like we only charge for the LLM that you are using because tokens will be used when we are using Turno. And which harness SDK that you use to create this desktop app? Yeah, so we use Story. Okay, so to create this desktop app. If we have a data warehouse and connect it, can we analyze the whole data? Yes, you can connect data warehouses. We have connected to a database called Databricks for that. So you can connect to that and analyze the whole data. Turno will be able to analyze all the things. Yeah. So if you have any questions and if you are not able to install it on your cloud, feel free to drop a chat either here or you can mail us.
So I have pasted the link for the YouTube channel as well. You can go and see this recording as well there. And are there any more questions? If not, then we can stop here. To to know more about what Turno can do, I would suggest you go and sign up to Turno AI and try the demo data sources and try to query it so that you will get more idea about what Turno AI can do.
So how can we ensure analysis is right? So as we have seen in the demo, that Turno will show all the SQL it has written and all the Python code it has written to do the analysis. So you can just go through that and you will be able to know that the analysis is right or wrong. Or you can also ask it the question itself, that how did you reach to the conclusion and all those things, and it will be able to tell you. All right. Okay, thank you everyone. Thanks for the being present here and for the webinar. And if you have any questions, you can just mail us on reachus@turno.ai. Okay. And if you are facing any problems in installing the AMI, you can just mail us. We'll help you set it up. Okay. Bye bye.
All right. Yeah. Thank you everyone for joining the session. And I would like to thank Mr. Sandeep Akode, Akansha, Vagdevi, and Sachin to presenting this session. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.